These highlights are brought to you by Cookery Sports, a sportswear revolution.
This afternoon we're at Inverleith for the Scottish Hydroelectric Premier 2 clash between Stewart's Melville and West. West second in the table, 1 point behind Biggar, and Stewart's Melville coming off a terrific run of victories. Fourth in the table, a lot at stake for both sides. Early on, Fraser Sinclair slamming the ball downfield, shepherded back in field by Jimmy Moran, telling him exactly what he's going to do with it, and so he did. Slammed the ball up in the air, finally tidied up by Sandy Service, but he was taken out by Stewart Kerr. And as the heavy mob arrived from Stewart's Melville, Sandy Service adjudged to have held on there. Up stepped Jimmy Moran and slammed it over to open the scoring for Stewart's Melville after only 6 minutes. But just a couple of minutes after that, great take at the line out by Callum Morrison for West. Ball worked out to Scott McKechnie. Sandy Service popping it up to Gordon Bullock. Fraser Sinclair, Weejink taking the ball on and knocked over there by Sean McMurtry, but West keeping the ball alive. And just as it was laid back there, Stephen Dalgleish stuck a boot on it. You can't do that, said David Walker. And Fraser Sinclair, straightforward kick to level the scores after just 8 minutes. Game was into the second quarter. Gordon Bullock throwing in, and look at Guy Perrott there. He's such a big guy, doesn't even have to jump for it. And West driving it on. Gordon Bullock spotting the gap round the fringe, in like a shot, with the Stewart Mill defence posted missing. Fraser Sinclair. Oh, just squeezing that one inside the post, but over nevertheless to take West into a 10 points to 3 lead. And well, that one tidied up there for Sandy Service by prop Elliot McLaren. And West with a lot of the ball now, and Jamie Kerr trying to make a dent, knocked over by Manu Kirkwood, and a turnover there for Stu Mill. Could they make something out of it? Well, the West defence pretty solid. Stuart Malone snuffing that one out, but the ball coming back for Phil Henry, and penalty though, crossing to David Walker, and Fraser Sinclair not even taking his bonnet off for this one, and it dropped over the post from all of 45 yards here. A cracking kick, and Stu Mill desperate to get more points on the board before half time. And just as the clock was ticking down, piling on the pressure on the West line, and Weejink through there by Craig Joyner, taken on by Stephen Dalgleish, and penalty right on the half-time whistle. Jimmy Moran, no mistake with that one, bringing it back to 6 points to 13 at half-time.
These highlights are brought to you by Cookery Sports, a sportswear revolution. Scottish Rugby Radio, Sky Channel 0195, every Monday at 9 PM. Join Stuart Cameron and his guests for news, match reports and expert comment on the Scottish game. The website has daily news updates and 12 radio channels with extra material. ScottishRugbyRadio.com.
Into the second half, and Stu Mill knew that they were going to have to get points on the board if they were going to salvage anything from the game. And big drive early on. Phil Henry leading the charge there, and Rob Primrose linking with Stuart Kerr, and Stu Mill thundering at the heart of the West defence. The ball out to skipper Richard Borthwick, nothing on. Well, it looked like it, but my goodness, he made the most of that one, outstripping the West defence to go in for a super try. The kick was missed, and Stewart still 2 points adrift. And West piling on the pressure, and well, they didn't get that one. Just a wee knock on going over the line, but a couple of minutes later in exactly the same position, a powerful West scrum edging forward towards the Stewart line, held in the back row by Callum Morrison, getting closer and closer, and scrum half Sandy Service thought he saw a wee gap, didn't quite make it, held up by his opposite number, Rob Primrose, but the West forwards piling in. And just have a look at Elliot McLaren, the prop, sizing up the options on both sides, picking it up, and oh, that final lunge takes him over the line, in for the try. With only 7 minutes of the game to go, that was a crucial score for West. And Fraser Sinclair's conversion took West into a 9-point lead, more than a score ahead. Well, Stewart were going to have to come up with something in the last few minutes if they were going to salvage anything from the game. And, well, a pretty feisty attack. Ball again worked into midfield. The West defence having to work hard to keep Stewart out. Jim Moran, wee shimmy there, popped the ball up to Blair Tweedy. Number 8, Phil Henry in support. Tweedy back in there. Second time in that move. Rob Primrose out to Stuart Kerr. Stewart holding on to possession as Stuart Kerr tried to get the ball out. An errant hand from Scott McKechnie. You can't do that, said David Walker. Up stepped Jim Moran. Banged it over, no problem. And Stewart were at least back in a position with 2 minutes to go where they were taking a bonus point from the game. That scrappy West scrum turned by Stewart. And, well, who was going to get something out of this one? Stewart were happy to move the ball again out into midfield. Richard Borthwick looking for support, getting it from Jimmy Moran. Desperate to get that try and conversion that would win the game for them, but solid West defence. Big tackle there by Scott McKechnie. Rob Primrose popping the ball up for Andy Davidson, keeping the ball alive, showing a lot of patience going through the phases. Phil Henry, another surge, but the West defence absolutely solid, giving Stewart absolutely no room to move. 2 or 3 tacklers onto the ball carrier every time, and the clock was running down. Scrum to Stewart, but then David Walker's attention attracted by one of the touch judges, an infringement on the far side, and up stepped Fraser Sinclair to slot yet another penalty in injury time. And at 23-14, there was really no way back for Stewart. Try as they might, they couldn't unpick a solid West defence for a second time. And a wild pass out to Tupa Saina. His pass inside, picked up by Elliot McLaren. He knew exactly what he was doing. Get that ball over there. And final whistle. West winners 23 points to 14, and still well in contention for that promotion slot.
Aye, they're a good team, Stewart. They're a good bunch of young guys, and certainly a lot stronger than when we played them the first time round. They've got a lot of good players. 13 is pretty good, but aye, we held on, and the boys did all right. I think there'll be a few pairs sung tonight.
So Stewart's run of wins comes to an end. West stay in second place in Premier 2. They're still very much in contention for promotion to Premier 1. This is Ron Evans for Scottish Rugby Television at Inverleith.
These highlights are brought to you by Kukri Sports, a sportswear revolution.